I'm Rodin. Welcome to BOMISpirit. Welcome to the weekly intuitive astrology reading for October 24th to the 30th. There is so much going down this week. It's going to be a very, noise, lots of noise. It's going to be a very jam-packed week of astrological transits, events, like big ones, including the new moon Scorpio eclipse. Jupiter is also retrograding up through Pisces again. We haven't felt that energy for quite a bit. We haven't felt that energy since like spring. I really want to say winter, but spring is actually coming to me as I say that. What else do we have going on? We are officially beginning Scorpio season. Mercury is also moving into Scorpio. Oh God, and how could I forget? I just looked at my notes. On October 30th, Mars is going retrograde into Gemini, the long-awaited retrograde of Mars in Gemini. It's a lot. That's a lot for 1 week, I gotta say. Also, I just have to share, I can't tell you how many times I tried to record this video. And I'm having one of those days where I feel like I'm in a sitcom, you know, like one of those days where you just try to do shit and it just doesn't work, or weird shit happens and you're like, someone must be watching me and like laughing at this because this is just too weird, but also comedic at the same time. Yeah, having one of those days. I've tried recording this probably 9 times, like not even kidding you. No joke. Anyway, I just had to get that off my chest. Anyway, so don't forget to check out Vimeo, Patreon, by the way, website. We have a lot of changes coming in the next few months, a lot of changes that I'm trying to pull off. We'll see if I pull them off. I am very confident I will. But keep your eyes peeled on the website, which has been revamped. So sign up if you want updates and announcements and things like that, or if you just want to check it out and see what it looks like. Yeah, so there's that. The way this is going to work, I'm going to go over the astrology and give you my 2 cents on what's kind of going on. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to channel. Now, you'll notice in the last few weeklies I've done, the duration's gotten longer and longer and longer and longer. And then after the last one of being 3.5 hours, I'm like, you know, I need to change something here. This is just a little too long. If I'm going to dedicate this much time, I might as well do sign readings, right? Which I am contemplating. So for this weekly reading, I'm just going to do collective astrology and a collective reading. I'm going to attempt to do this for the elements as well. But then when I thought about it, so I'm giving a whole diatribe, but then when I thought about it, it was like, wait, am I going to release 5 videos on one day? So I haven't figured out the logistics yet, but sitting for like 3 hours is just too long for one video for me. It's just too much. I'd rather break it up and have a little bit of break in between. So that being said, let's just go ahead and dive right into it. This week, God, there's so much going on this week. The themes of this week, before I get into the details of the astrology: love, relationships, sex, sacred sexuality, also integrating with our shadow selves and our deep impulses, passions, but also impulses. That's definitely there. And I want to talk a little bit about just the sign of Scorpio and what that means, considering we do have the Scorpio eclipse, but we're going to get there in a minute. We're also still going to have this very nice Mars support when it comes to the air element this week, with being motivated towards our purpose, our passion, getting plans together, connecting with people, seeing the bigger picture of things. Where do I fit in? What can I do? How can I help people? How can I be of service? All of that stuff. Great stuff. The middle of the week, we have increased mental energy. Mental focus is really more what it is. Like the middle of the week is going to be when you're going to want to do your planning. You're planning any research you need to do for any big things, a little small or big. I'm going to say small or big. Or if you're a student, you need like a study day. Middle of the week is probably going to be best, like 26th, 27th of October. The other thing, though, about this mental energy, because it has a Plutonian influence, I'm going to get into the details even more so, but in a minute, just keep in mind that you might also experience a little bit of challenge here with all this mental energy. It's going to be a chance to challenge ourselves with keeping our minds open and allowing shifts of our perspectives to happen, to take place, okay? The other thing, at the end of the week, a lot of water. Lots of water energy. So increased intuition, psychic awareness, a deepening of our relationships, if we allow it, especially with the Scorpio eclipse. This whole week, we're going to be having windows of opportunity, and for the next 6 months, because it's an eclipse, right? These opportunities to just be super deep with ourselves and super deep with people, and we're really craving spiritual connections and true intimacy, the truth, right? We don't want superficiality, especially under the sign of Scorpio. So that's what you can expect going on this week as far as themes are concerned. So let's break it down a little bit. I want to start by talking about Scorpio. We are starting Scorpio season. This is tropic Western astrology, by the way. And the Scorpio eclipse is in Scorpio at 2 degrees, which is tightly conjunct Venus in Scorpio at 2 degrees. So we have Venusian energy combined with Scorpionic energy this week, along with all the support of water, the element of water, because we're going to have Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio all playing a role in different astrological aspects. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, we've been in this North Node, South Node, Taurus, Scorpio period, right? Learning lessons of how we can evolve when it comes to the sign of Taurus: integrity, accountability, responsibility, resources, food, even money and currency, and the systems that are part of that, and also individually how we deal with that and adapt to that. All of that we've been challenged with, and we've been kind of learning and growing in that arena, right? Now, the South Node has been in Scorpio. It's the things we've already been, like we've already been there, right? Taurus and Scorpio are both about possession, just physical and non-physical. I don't mean being possessed, although that could technically play a role there. I'm kind of kidding, kind of. But Taurus is the physical possession. It's what can I have? What can I consume? What can I invest in that is mine and that I can sit on and that I can grow on and nest in? That's Taurus, right? It's also a very nurturing energy because it's also Venus. So it's how we can nurture and grow ourselves when it comes to the physical material plane. Scorpio is the complete opposite. It's internal. It's not about the external plane. It's about what we hold on to emotionally, what we attach to emotionally, what we attach to even sexually, right? It's our inner world. It's the underworld, so to speak. So think about Scorpio like that as we're entering this week and as we're entering this eclipse season. Now, this whole week, we do have the sun conjunct Venus and both in Scorpio. That's going to be the biggest aspect under the new moon eclipse, which by time this posts, I'll already have gone live. So if you're curious as to what I had to say in the new moon Scorpio live that I did on Patreon a while ago, it's weird because when I record these, it's ahead of time. So I'm talking about the future, talking about the past, and it confuses me. But check it on Vimeo. I always post them on Vimeo. And if you're curious as to what it's like on Patreon, it starts at $6 a month, which I think is a really good deal. So check it out if you're curious. But anyway, so sun conjunct Venus, this is the relationship component. This is love. This is beauty. This is harmony. This is creativity, pleasure seeking. The sexual energy this week is going to be intense. It's also going to be really intensified because of eclipse energy, but we have so much support from water energy towards the end of the week because of Pallas Athena in Cancer, Neptune in Pisces, Juno in Pisces, the sun also being in Scorpio, Venus being in Scorpio, and Jupiter being in Pisces. That's also going to be aspecting Pluto. While Pluto's in Earth, Pluto also rules Scorpio. So you see what I'm saying? A lot of support here for Scorpionic energy in the context of connecting and relating to people. I expect there to be very intense spiritual connections and a lot of sacred sexuality happening there. There could also be challenges with lower frequency sacral energy where it's like distorted sexuality. So I wouldn't be surprised if that comes up for some people as far as like breaking away from that kind of patterning within the context of relationships. But have fun in it. Have fun in your own sacred sexuality. Even if you're just enjoying it with yourself, you can use that for creativity. You can use that to connect to your own sort of inner god, goddess energy. You can use it for all kinds of things. And because of all this water energy as well, intuition, dream state, telepathy, empathy, all of that is going to be really amplified. So don't be surprised if you're just seeing right through people. People are seeing right through you. Don't be surprised if you're dating somebody or you're in a relationship and they get a little possessive. They just want to be all up over you, in you, whatever. Sorry, I just realized how that sounded, but it came out that way for a reason. Yeah, huge theme for this week and for the eclipse season, but it's really about going deeper in a sacred way, in a spiritual way, and with intimacy within the context of relationships, okay, and sexuality. really starting to break down those old distortions of sexuality for those of you who struggled with that or are still bogged down by that. Okay. It was a big deal, so I just had to mention it. The other thing going on this week, Mars is still trying Vesta, and Eris is also still working with Mars and Pluto. All of that is like a big push. Like when I was writing my notes, sometimes I get channelings when I'm talking about astrology. I just felt this big push towards the future, push forward, really focused energy on what can I do? What's my role? How can I be of service to people? How can I bring my passion and what lights me up into the world in a way where I can rely on it myself? A nice unleashing of power is still happening, which is great for a new moon Scorpio as well. Now, there's another eclipse coming. Full moon Taurus eclipse is coming right after the new moon Scorpio. Not right after, 2 weeks, November 8th. Hi, Bubs. I was like, how long till he shows up? It's never long. The full moon Taurus, it's going to be a wild ride. It's tightly conjunct Uranus. Yeah. Like, I think they're both at 16 degrees. Yeah, full moon Taurus is 16 degrees, will be tightly conjunct Uranus at 16 degrees, and also be square Saturn, which I believe will be at 18 degrees. So not as strong on that Saturn front, but that square is still going to play a role. So enjoy this new moon Scorpio. It's going to be liberating. Everyone's going to be in their sexual energy, and it's going to be amazing. Okay. Anyway, so moving on. What else do I want to talk about here? The middle of the week, thank you, with Mercury. Mercury's kind of taking over the middle of the week. Sorry, it's really hot here, so don't mind me if I start sweating. Again, one of those days is just like little things. Like, this is not a big deal that I'm sweating. It's just a nuisance. In the middle of the week, Mercury is in Libra and will be trine Mars in Gemini and square Pluto Capricorn. This brings the increase in mental focus and concentration, ability to do more research or be involved in analytics and deep understanding of things, making plans, organizing, that sort of deal. Just be mindful of communication. You're going to want to be communicative. You're also going to want people to be very communicative with you. And there might be a bit of a forcefulness there because we are talking about Pluto and Mars. Both of those are very forceful. Both of those can be in your face. I'll just say in your face. I was going to say aggressive. Pluto's not really aggressive. It's just, it's just overwhelming, right? It's just intense. This also is going to bring some challenges, though, with perspectives, because it's a square to Pluto. So it's to open your mind, essentially. It's to get you to see the bigger picture of things. We need to allow that to happen. There might be some triggering in relationships because of this, but if there are, I think it's going to be smoothed over really quickly because we do have this Sun conjunct Venus Scorpio energy, and we have all this support from water energy towards the end of the week, which I'm going to talk about now. Towards the end of the week, we have Jupiter sextile Pluto. We have Pallas Athena trine Neptune, and Juno trine Venus, and Juno trine the Sun. Moving away from Jupiter sextile Pluto, just focusing on the asteroid activity, Pallas Athena and Juno, working with Venus and the Sun and Neptune. Buddy, no, I can't. He's like, love me. That's kind of this energy, actually. He literally was like, please. No. This is deep, deep intimacy with partners, potential partners. There's also a deepening of your belief, more of an acceptance of a belief that you can have the partner of your dreams, the partner that you fantasize about that, you know, typically might seem unrealistic. You're like, no, actually, this is very attainable. There's going to be deepening of compassion and empathy and just a receptivity when it comes to connecting with people, a prioritization of spiritual connections and spiritual relationships, divinity, sacredness within relationships, and sharing emotion and love. So very, very nice stuff. Jupiter sextile Pluto is also going to be good. It's not very strong. It's not very strong. So it's going to get stronger as time goes on. I don't know if Jupiter is going to go all the way to 26 degrees, which is where Pluto is sitting in Capricorn. I have to double check that, but it's there. It's prominent. So you might as well enjoy it. That sextile between Jupiter and Pluto brings positive change. It brings success through positive change. And you can see potentially advancements in career, personal growth, spiritual growth, even just a feeling of being more in your own power and influence, or maybe even increase in status because Pluto is in Capricorn. So great stuff. And that will tie into all of the other water energy that I was talking about. So for those of you where you're willing to go there with people, go there like a Scorpio would, it actually could open some doors potentially as far as your own personal growth, especially spiritual growth. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's going to be a good week. I feel really good about it. If you're open to it, be open to it, be receptive to it. There's a lot that could be enjoyed this week. Now, when I was looking at the signs, because there's so much going on, even sign wise, I actually wrote down one, two, I wrote down like almost half the zodiac, and I was like, wait, let me back up. Air signs and water signs, you guys are taking the cake this week. You guys are going to be feeling all of this very intensely, especially my Scorpios. It's okay. I'm in the boat with you. It's going to be a fun ride, like I said. Now, you can look at this as, okay, I have a lot of personal planets in air signs. I have a lot of personal planets in water signs. So you can look at it that way. That just means you're really going to feel the intensity. Or you can go ahead and look at your houses. But because there's so much going on, I'm not going to say don't look at your houses, because I will be looking at my houses for sure. Just know that it's not just the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is being supported by Cancer and Pisces. Just know that it's not just a sign of like Gemini or Libra, because it's all the air signs are at play. Because Vesta and Saturn are in Aquarius, Mercury's in Libra, Mars is in Gemini. So you see what I'm saying, right? But if you're looking at the fact that, okay, I have a lot of air signs, that means plans, organizing, communication, drive, and motivation will be probably the biggest theme for you. Water signs, relationships, love, spirituality, sacred sexuality, those kinds of things, okay? Now, for those who want to look at their houses, I'm going to give you the degree ranges that I wrote down. And this is to look at, like, from your ascendant. So for those who are new, you just pull up your chart. You can go to astro.com, Cafe Astrology. Both are fine. Both are really good sites, in my opinion. Scorpio, I would actually say 0 to 10 degrees, which, again, supported by Cancer and Pisces. So if you're going to look at one, look at Scorpio. Sorry, I thought that was on Do Not Disturb. If you're going to look at everything, look at Cancer and Pisces, prioritize Scorpio. Okay, it's where all that shit's going down. And they really are hitting this home with me too. Relationships, 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 relationships. This is pivotal this week. Okay, pivotal this week. You're going to see what you've been attaching to emotionally. You're going to see what you've been possessing. Okay. Now, air signs. Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, I'd look at Gemini and Libra. Realistically, I'd look at both. It'd be hard to choose just one, because Mercury's playing a big role in like the mental focus, and Gemini's playing a big role in drive and motivation and the forward push, right? But Aquarius is also giving a helping hand here. I'd prioritize Gemini and Libra, 20 to 29 degrees. Gemini, Libra. And if you want to throw an Aquarius, throw an Aquarius. And I wouldn't focus on it, but if you wanted to look at it, Aries, I'd even look at the whole house. But if you need a degree range, 20 to 25 degrees. Aries is really just helping us breaking out of old shit. So nothing's really particularly going to go down there. We've been dealing with wounding in the house of Aries. All of us have, because Chiron's been there, and Chiron's been very active the last few months. Really, it's been really active the last couple of years. So look at it. It's probably not the most important thing this week. Okay? Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and do collective message. Let's go ahead and get into the collective reading. Okay. I did bring out some of my more fun Scorpionic decks, because, you know, 'tis the season. Should I pull? Actually, yes. Okay. So I haven't used this one in a bit, but it should be down there in the description box below. The El Goliath Tarot deck. It's a shadow deck. Yeah. And given it's Scorpio, and given we will be dealing with some shadowy energies around relationships and sexuality, feels appropriate. It's just a bitch to shuffle. I mean, look at this. It's hard to shuffle. I just want to see what shadow themes are going to be coming up for the collective this week. Most likely will be impacting what will be influenced under this eclipse as well. What's going on here? Oh. Okay. And I will be reading them because the descriptions are very impactful. Okie dokie. They're actually showing me Ace of Cups. I'm like trying to pull a card to see what shadows are going to be coming up, but it could be, patterns that have kept us from being vulnerable. There's a lot of vulnerability happening again, more so towards the end of the week, and the beginning of the following week. But yeah, they're showing me Ace of Cups. Any messages or insights for the collective for this week, or any shadow elements for the collective to be aware of or consider? Am I taking this one? They want me to take two. Okay. And then they just gave it to me. Okay. I love when that happens. Sorry. The Lovers. I know, aren't these cards so amazing? I just love the artwork. It's funny because what was I saying? The Ace of Cups. And here we have the Lovers card. I like almost want to try to call it before I pull it over. Pull it out. Is it going to be another water card? The Two of Cups. Is it for real? Yeah, it's the Two of Cups in reverse. In reverse. Higher dimensional relationships. That's actually what I'm getting from this. Can we evolve? It's funny because if you look at the illustrations, the Lovers card, which is a major arcana, which speaks to the higher element or the higher dimensionality of situations and life and aspects of life, it's two flamingos, which is very physical plane, right? And we see the Two of Cups, and they're kind of like alien lizard people, which is very high dimensional, but it speaks of the physical plane. So it's very interesting. But yeah, Lovers and Two of Cups in reverse. Wow. So first of all, there are themes of integration here for this week, and I can't stress that enough. Scorpio makes you go there. It makes you go deep. It makes you dig deep into your subconscious, into the deepest parts of your soul, to pull them up to the surface so that you can integrate it and transform and keep transforming and keep transforming and keep transforming. That's what Scorpio does. And with Two of Cups and Lovers here, that definitely talks about that. But Venus is here. Okay. Venus, even Juno, the both of those are strongly about relationships and partnerships. And I keep feeling that this week. And I keep feeling that for the new moon Scorpio, but I do feel it's challenging distortions within relationships, but particularly sexuality. Okay. Can you connect and relate to somebody without it being distorted, especially within the context of sexuality? Can it be more of a spiritual, divine sort of connection, whether it is a friendship or not? Sexual energy exists in everything, not just a romantic situation. Sexuality just facilitates creation. That's all it is. Well, not all it is. It's pretty special. But sexuality helps us. It's the lubricant to creative energy. Think of it like the key to creative energy that exists in almost all things we do. Okay. I knew it was going to be watery. I knew it. I so knew it. All right. I'm going to read them both to you. The Elevas. It's funny, they show me the Ace of Cups, and here we have a Two of Cups in reverse. That also kind of further implies partnership, because you need a one cup and a 2 cup to make a 2 cup. Said it like that, math. You need 2 individual cups to make a pair. There you go. That sounds accurate. Y'all knew what I was trying to say. Whew. Where are you? There you are. Love, love, love. Oh, how it unites, triumphs, and transcends all. Oh, what a wonderful thing, even to have such a thing, to possess such a thing, to even treasure it and keep it safe. The thing that the poets write about and men fight and die for at war. Who really could possibly... Some of this English isn't right. Sorry. Who really could possibly? I think that they meant possibly. Who really could possibly hope to truly know or understand the curious mysterious nature of love? Excuse me. It's weird. Okay, I'm having a really weird experience. Some of the grammar is off, but I keep seeing some of these words in Spanish. I don't know why. I don't really speak Spanish all that well. I know some words, but I consider myself level 1.5. Okay. Maybe a level 2. Maybe. But that's really weird. I think that's just a confirmation for somebody or some of you. Okay, let me try this again. Some find it easy, others search the world to no avail, and some find it only to have it flutter into their life and then flutter back out again like a beautiful summer breeze, like a butterfly, delicate and short. Yes, some of this English is weird. Like a butterfly, delicate and short-lived, yet fades before it peaks. Then some have forsaken love. There are clearly many different interpretations of love, as all love is different. Before I look at one of the most beloved cards in the tarot, we have to acknowledge that love is universal energy that really rises above all. No matter where you are in the world, no matter what country or language you speak, love finds a way to break barriers and bring people together. Love and compassion for one another and for animals and nature. This is perhaps a card everyone secretly hopes to get in a reading. I want to point something out many may fail to grasp. First and foremost, spirituality is, was, and will always be a mastery of the inner self. Scorpio, inner. Go deep, go deep, go deep. As cliche as it is, before you can truly love unconditionally, you must first understand what it is inside of yourself and reach a point of self love and acceptance of who you are, as you cannot give something of which you simply do not have, much like trying to lend money from a bank that is empty or already depleted. Far from the Hollywood interpretation of the perfect fairy tale romance, love is a journey of connection, the taking of something external and absorbing it. Oh, this is a long description. As a part of yourself internally, without conditions and limitations placed upon it. Love is more an experience than a concept. It is the process of integration towards oneness. However, in order to love something, you have to be somewhat vulnerable. To fall in love is to let your guard down. Yet danger can also follow someone in love, as their sense of own self sometimes take what? Oh, I skipped a line. It's really tiny words. As their sense of own self sometimes takes a back seat, and in some cases can even go beyond or against their own nature to defend what they love, as they can be completely absorbed and besotted with the one they are in love with, losing all their sense of self and logic and common sense. Also, to truly love someone, you have to accept and see the other person's shadow, keyword of the week, as well, and not just love the ideology or idea of what love looks like to you on a superficial level with them. The lover's card can be interpreted, Jesus, in so many ways. I always pay close attention to the other cards around this to look for a narrative in a reading with a client. This card is really about passion, including the passions within you, things that really bring you joy and fulfillment in your life. When we move closer to our passions, our purpose, we begin to move closer to our highest self. This card also could also mean family, friends, and your soul tribe, your place, your heart, and your home. There's more, but I think we're going to stop there because it's going to get long. This card is perfect for this week. That description is perfect for what is going down this week. Integration, dealing with shadow elements, breaking away from distortions within relationships and how we love, how we look at love, how we connect, how we look at relationships, and of course, sexuality. I'm going to keep talking about that because it's just what I keep picking up on. Huge, huge themes this week and for the next 6 months. You're really going to feel it more for the first month too, but it's an eclipse. So the post shadow is 6 months. So it's just going to follow, even if it's really subtle. Okay. Now let's do the Two of Cups in reverse. The reverse descriptions are a lot shorter. Here's the cups. Okay. Make sure okay. Yeah. A broken union, a business deal that one party could not hold up their part in the bargain, a needing to try and make reconciliation towards something that once was, and one is trying to get back to where they were, but it doesn't feel the same anymore. Broken bond, broken trust, empty, barren, alone, companionship that has moved on or away from you now, the memory of what was, not what is. It's transcending this, transcending emotional baggage and also programs around these sort of occurrences in relationships. You know, it's really easy for some people, and like some people don't have an issue with this, right? There are plenty of people in the world who can keep their heart open no matter what happens in relationships, but a lot of people develop coping mechanisms, defense mechanisms, triggers, distorted programs and narratives about themselves and relationships every time they come across something where it doesn't work out because someone did something shady, or they had high expectations, or whatever was fueling that, right? But this is about transcending that. Okay. Wow. All right, so let's get some other cards out here. I'm gonna go for. I also brought my Santa Muerte deck back out. I haven't used that in a bit too, but we're gonna go for Nightmare for Christmas because it's an amazing deck. So. Okay. Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? Feeling fire. Feeling King of Wands, actually. King and Queen of Wands. Feeling some passion rise up. It actually is making my little bubbles in my tummy. Like my belly's hot all of a sudden. Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? Ooh, is that what I thought it was? Beautiful. Oh my God, beautiful. Three of Swords in reverse in the Sun. We have healing. Healing and also clarity and moving into joy. Transcending pain. Past pain is what it feels like. Past pain. Pain of old. Pain of baggage. Of what hasn't worked. Some of you are words. Sorry. Some of you are also letting go of people that you stayed energetically attached to. Doesn't mean you stayed physically attached. Doesn't mean you're talking to them, but people that you possibly have been intimate with, whether that's physically or emotionally, because you could be very intimate with a friend, just emotionally over time, like divulging information or connecting in that way. Not sexual. I feel like they need to really emphasize that. But letting go of relationships that were deeply intimate, that didn't work out, that you felt very hurt by. It's funny. It's almost like, because we're talking about scorpionic energy, right? This week. It's almost like Scorpio can finally let go. Like scorpionic energy, like loosen the grip a little bit. It's interesting. Anyway, 5 of Swords in reverse with the Queen of Swords in reverse. Ooh, that feels funky. What's going on with that? What's going on there? There's definitely a calming down of the ego, and there feels like there's humility there. I'm getting a little bit of bitterness. Like before having the ego calm down, there's bitterness. I'm just getting bitterness. Anger, resentment, a very closed off heart. Very closed off heart. I'm actually hearing cold language, cold speech. This could be just within context of one person, like within one relationship, or a pattern of it. But yeah, it's like a softening. Thank you. Softening the part that has put us on edge, given us a little bit of a bite as far as our speech is concerned, and as far as like how we are emotionally with people. The part of us that's been hurt, right? That's on guard. There's a softening happening there. Any other messages or insights for the collective for this week? Yeah, I'm really seeing, because especially the way these cards came out. So these two landed on the 2 of Cups in reverse, right? So this is like healing old distortions and old baggage around relationships that haven't worked, right? And then over here, it's almost like entering into a new elevation or consciousness of what it means to relate and connect to people, right? This is vulnerability. This is even doing it in a sacred spiritual way, and it's softening. So here we have acceptance, forgiveness, letting go. And here we have the opening ourselves up to new experiences, opening up our mind, opening up our souls. Wow, that's deep. Opening up our souls. Okay. Any other messages or insights for the collective for this week? Oh man, time. Oh my God, almost 40 minutes. It's impossible for me to do short videos, I swear. I've tried in the past, man, and I just don't work that way. I get too into it. I got too much to say. Let's see here. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm hearing responsibility. Responsibility. We have the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. This is an energy of somebody who is feeling very grounded, very confident. They feel like they actually can come in and provide. They can come in and take care. That's what this feels like to me. Whether this is you guys or somebody that it could be in your environment that you're dealing with, but this is, okay, you know what? I can hold myself accountable to what these higher level relationships require, to connecting with somebody in a healthy way, in a very deep, intimate way, in a spiritual way, an honest way. I can hold myself accountable to what that requires of me, to that level of maturity and integrity. That's what that feels like to me. Some of you, this can even be an offer of stability. I'm hearing stability more than anything. It feels like a fatherly energy, like I can provide to you. I can provide, I can provide, I can provide, which Scorpio just loves, right? Because this is very Taurian. This is like literally the Taurus card. Taurus and Virgo. But here we have that earthly fixed energy, right? Like how we possess in the material plane for security and stability. That's Taurus energy, right? And Scorpio is, I need to feel emotionally secure and safe and hold on emotionally, internally, right? That water fix. It's like Scorpio loves somebody who's gonna come in and do this, right? So when we're in Scorpio season, we're gonna crave that like Taurus balancing. So really nice there. Any other messages or insights for the collective for this week? Oh, forgot. I thought I put that on. Forgot to put on Do Not Disturb. Sorry, guys. I'll do it in a second. Overall, we have Temperance. Yes, I love it. Ooh, with the 4 of Cups. 6, yeah. And the 6 of Fire. Okay, I like it. Thank you. Balancing that water and fire and those cards. Temperance is balance. It's harmony. It's also recovery and resolution. It also is integration, right? It's everything I've been talking about. With the 4 of Cups and the 6 of Fire being here, it feels like really dealing with our own disappointment, dealing with our own apathy, dealing with our own depression, dealing with our own focusing on things that aren't really there anymore, focusing on things of the past and not really seeing what we have right in front of us. We're overcoming that with the 6 of Fire. Beautiful. I do want to pull more cards. I feel like this is a nice, general, summary of what we're all going to be going through. I want to get some more details as far as different circumstances that might arise for people. So let's take it there. Whew. Let's take it there. I'm going to go Santa Muerte. Oh, Do Not Disturb. Sorry. Hold on. Like a dirter. Okay. Any messages or insight? Clyde just threw himself over the cards. Any messages or insights for the collective for this week of what they can expect? Showing me a salamander. That to me says fire. Yeah, I know it's technically is like, an amphibious creature, but fire. I feel fire with that. Fire, fire, fire. Oh, oh. Suddenly all this energy just came into the back of my head. Feeling strong Ace of Wands energy. Some of you guys are gonna be getting downloads too, so be prepared for that. It's not all of you, but yeah, this very very strong Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands. It feels higher dimensional. It feels like light. Honestly, like that's what it feels like to me. It just feels like light is coming in. Um, it's gonna be interesting. Any messages or insights for the collective? Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? Interesting. So we have Judgment in reverse. Stop getting in your own way. Big theme recently for the collective. That's what I just heard with this. Stop getting in your own way. Stop getting in your own way. Stop getting in your own way. The kind of relationships you want to have, the kind of connections you want to have, they're available. You just have to make the steps and hold yourself accountable to being capable of having that. They're there, but it's up to you. I'm also getting this too. I gotta stop. I'm getting a channel here, channeling. Mirroring, mirroring, mirroring. If you take your own distortions about relationships and belief systems about relationships, you hold on to them and you keep perpetuating them, no matter who you connect with, you're going to see that shit in other people. You're going to project that into the relationship, even if it's not where that person's coming from. People respond to energy, they respond to energetic exchange, and it's just going to end up putting them in position to play out the role that you are giving them. Okay. Just cut it out. Sorry. I don't know why this is coming out so harsh. I apologize. Yeah. Get out of your own way and cut it out is what keeps coming out. That's a little harsh. It's a little harsh. Any other messages or insights for the collective for this week? I almost feel like Taurus is talking. Like if Taurus had a voice, that's what Taurus would say. I don't know why I want to say it that way, but I do. Any other messages or insights for the collective for this week? Ooh, what is this? Four of Wands in reverse. Instability. I'm also getting a left out feeling, kind of like a sad, like I don't get to enjoy. Like that's what it feels like to me. I don't get to enjoy relationships. I don't get to enjoy get-togethers. I don't get to enjoy stability of relationships. But with Judgment in reverse being there, it doesn't have to be that way. It's up to you to change that. That's just what keeps coming through. That's your responsibility. Any other messages or insights for the collective for this week? Ooh. Tower in reverse. It's time. Tower in reverse can either mean a change has happened or that a change needs to happen, but it's being resisted, and I feel like it's being resisted. I feel like it's being resisted. However you're relating to people, this can also relate to like physical foundations, but so much of what's going on this week is really about the emotional, and also the mental with Mercury. But anyway, the Four of Wands energy that you've been experiencing, and it feels like a pattern, it feels like a narrative, feels like a program that you keep running over and over. You can change it. It's time to change it. It's time to change it. And anything that fell apart in your past doesn't have to repeat, but that's up to you. That's up to you. Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? Overall, oh my, oh my, oh my. We have Wheel of Fortune in reverse with the Five of Swords. Oh my God. Queen of Wands in reverse. Guys, stop it. Stop it. Cut it out. Wow. And then we have There's that Ace of Wands. We have the Page of Wands with the Ace of Swords, and then we have the Ace of Wands. This is what you're resisting. This is what you're resisting. New passion, a new way of looking at passion, a new way of looking at desire, a new way of looking at joy and fun in life. Page of Wands is also like craving adventure, craving a new way of play and fun, and again, experiencing life. Could even be sexual energy there too. But look what's preceding that. Wheel of Fortune reverse with the Five of Swords and the Queen of Wands in reverse. Your ego's been getting in the way. You've been getting in the way of this. You've been resisting the change. The change that Spirit is saying desperately needs to happen. But you have to take accountability. You also have to unleash the Page of Wands. Some of you, this is also going to come down to inner child work, especially as you're coming out as the Queen of Wands in reverse. Inner child knows exactly what you want. Oh, sorry. Sorry. That centipede in that card just freaked me out. I'm always on the eye for on the hunt, not on the hunt. I don't want to hunt them. Keep a lookout. I always keep a lookout for centipedes, and just like the image just caught me. Sorry, coming back. Anyway, unleashing the inner child is a part of this for you too. Recapturing that childlike curiosity and fearlessness. That Ace of Swords really speaks to opening the mind. Opening the mind, let the light in. Interesting, that light that just flew out of my mouth. Let the light in, let the fire burn is what I just heard. Let the light in, let the fire burn. Surrender to it, unleash it, and get out of your own way. Okay. Wow. God, almost 15 minutes. I think you guys got this. I think you guys are going to be fine. So as I said, for the elements, I had planned to do them all separately. I don't know if I'm actually going to do it. So I've also got some other things going on. I'm going to do a separate video talking about that. I might as well mention it here. So I'm going out of town, not really out of town. I'm on island still, but I'm going to be away from my home for a few days, which is why I'm also like doing a lot of work ahead of time. But then I also have a massive trip coming up in November that anyway, you don't need to know the details. I have a massive trip coming up in November. So I've been trying to figure out how to like deal with recordings or like just not recording. So I'm figuring that out. But in the meantime, I don't know if I'm going to be doing the elements. I haven't decided. But you'll know, because if I post this on Monday, they'll probably be posted if I did them. So anyway, I'm going to go now. I need a little break. I need to ground and kind of come down a little bit. But I hope you guys really enjoyed that reading. And I hope you guys have a great eclipse time. Hope you guys have a great time with the eclipse and that it's good to you. And I hope you guys really get to enjoy people and let yourself really surrender to this energy, because it could be really fun and really changing for some of us, really transformative. Scorpio, if anything, is transformative. Okay. All right. I'm going to go. Take care, guys. Have a good night and a good week. Bye.